Just feel a little bit uncomfortable where I have to sit here.
You'll be traveling for a few days?
I'm sorry?
I'm going to be going away for a few days, Shem, to Muncie.
Okay, well, we'll be crossing because I'm going back to Boca. So we'll be closed down for a couple of days.
Yeah, coming back Sunday.
Okay, so that is a Sunday for learning on Sunday?
No, could learn Monday.
Okay. All right, that's fine. So we're in the SIFRA Ditzniuta today. Let me see if I can find what happened to us. So we managed to go through number Hey on page Tafresh Ches Sadi. Let me see where we're at here. Okay, and so now we're going to be on number Vav. So number Vav says, let me see what happens over here, number Vav, okay? He says, okay, ready. Reva Bir HaMeshula the Fiach Groa. Shin is bar the Osius Yud K Vav. So we're different view now. Erich Anpin. Nechlalam v'nistamba b'mochas timo. So went through the Vira. Now we're in the mochas timo. Erich Anpin besod shlosha mochim chachma bina. Das within mochas timo there is the Yud K Vav. But the Zechav Omer Kanda Oz Hey, the Erich Anpin, Avshuhu Sasam B'Shorshahu B'Mochas Dima. So he says that it's in the Mochas Dima, quotes that. Hu Niftach V'Nizgala B'Makom Acher. So this is our phrase. B'Nikve Aznaim, the Erich Anpin. Now this is interesting that the Hey we see in regards to Ak, that's where we see the first appearance of the letter Hey rather. Here, he's transporting it over to Erich Anpin. He said, the Heindoche benikve Raznaim de Erich Anpin, v'zecher she'amach be'hei, and he's spelling it Hey, Aleph, is patchach ba'achra, it opens up. In another place, v'hi ha'oz Hey nikiv, so it has the ability to bore a hole. V'niftach gam kain, and opens up also. So what he says here, also b'shnei nikvei chotim. So it's able to. I'm using the word bore. I don't know what he means by inkiv, but it means making a hole. B'shnei nikvei chotim de Erich Anpin. So you have two places he mentions here. One is the ear of Erich Anpin, and which we haven't seen that before. And the other place is making a hole. And we saw a lot of different ideas of what this comes from. It comes from a vapor of some sort, from the Metzach, as others had said, travels in some way down into the nostrils. Here we also mentioned the ears. V'nimsa v'nizgal sham b'tzad shevet ikune gungolta de Erich Anpin, and there you see that it's mentioned in regards to that v'zecher she'amar v'inkim between nukvin v'ishtakach b'tikunin ein sham. The last phrase v'ishtakach b'tikunim is still a little bit vague what he means by tikkunim, but it indicates that it flows down and achieves its purpose. Okay, now next we're going to go over here to the Rebbe ZOHAR, which is Shabir the Fidarko the El. He's talked about this before. He says Dehei law hu mochas dimob. So this goes along with what we heard just from the garage just a minute ago. The his galus are also who bechotem. The main place where you see it is in the nose. According to that, then they're explaining over here. Hey mocha stimo is patach v'hoyer ba'achra. Fine. Hainu niglach l'hoyer b'chutma. Baruach dechai betrin nukvein besod Yud K Yud. We saw that before, but it never explained. So he says Yud K Yud. He says that refers to the Nukva Yamina. And then the next Hey Vav Dalad Yud Nukva Smola. So now he says, so we have this transportation, and that transportation down to the nostrils. So there's a right nostril, which is Yud Ke Yud, and a left nostril, which is Hey Vav Dalad Yud, needs explanation. V'yishtakach gam came b'tikunim. You also find in of the Yud Gimel Tikunim Dikna, you also find this same thought. What is the right nostril, left nostril? Exactly what does it have to, how does it transfer to the beard? Naros. Well, I get this really off here. Sorry. V'yishtakacha gam came b'tikuni b'yud gili tikuni dikdacha b'sod nairos umavos, which is the concept here now of channels for the flow of light. So he says nairos umavura b'mayim moshkim min yam ha'chochma would come out of the yam ha'chochma, and he says, what is the yam ha'chochma? It's the mochas timor. Okay, so now we had on number Kaf Vav. Kaf Vav was saying it was going on the Yud K Yud and the Hey Vav Dalad Yud, which need explanation. So he says down here in number Kaf Zion, Kaf Vav, sorry. He says Ratzon Lomad the Bavur be'Eitz Chaim, and this is brought out in the Eitz Chaim. The Os Yud Beshuta Shel Yud, the Shem Sag, so the simple Yud there in the Yud of the Shem Sag. Now we saw something about the name Sag before because Hevel is the gematria of the Milui Sag, but I can't touch it onto anything particular other than the fact that he says it here. So he says the Os Yud Peshuto Shel Yud the Shem Sag, he Ruach Chaim. That itself is the Ruach Chaim, the Yud. Shebeneka v'yom, and that's the Ruach Chaim, that's in the right nostril. And Nimshach the Zer Anpin, and it's going to go to Zer Anpin. I think we've probably seen this idea. V'osios Vav Dalad, which is the completion, the Milui Ashel Yud. Heim Ruach Chaim Benekev small. So we say that combinations of letters here are found in the right nostril and the left nostril. Hanimshach lenukva, and that goes, the left nostril is going to ultimately wind up, sounds like this source of Gevuros, it's going to go into the nukva. V'os hey, and now he spells the hey yud. So he says the hey rishona, he bebechinas hanekev atzmo, shebiyomin ahotem. So he says the hey, now spelled like that, like say, this first hey, and I'm not sure what here. I thought that we meant of Yud K Vav K, but I think that he means hey because the hey doubles. It's a letter that has a hey to it, but here he says it's hey Yud Rishona, the first hey of those two heys. I think that's what he means because he's going to talk about it in the next piece. He says our one piece of Os. Hey Yud Rishona, he bebechinas hanekev atzmo. It refers, the Hey Rishona, spelled like that, refers to the opening itself. Shebiyomin ahodim, which is the opening of the nostril on the right side. Then he said the Hey Shnia, same spelling again. He bebechinas hanekev atzmo shebitzad small line sham. So the two Heys refer to right left nostrils. V'hinechashin itzarav benekev yamim. Ha'os Yud. Now, if you take into the next other, you put this letter Yud, shall Rucha. The Yud represents the Rucha. Im Osius Hey Yud, together with the letters Hey Yud, shall Etzem Anekev, because he says the word again, Hey Yud refers to the opening itself. I'm sure there's more you could say about that. There needs to be said about it, but he says at any rate that's the Hey Yud. He says that's the opening shel etzem hanekev. Hare kan siraf Yud K Yud. So now you have the original Yud, and then you have the Yud K being added onto it, or the K Yud. You have the original Yud, and the K Yud is added onto it. That makes Yud K Yud. So maybe you pronounce it Yehi, I'm not sure. V'chein k'shenitzaref v'nefesh benek is small, so therefore when you join it together with the left nostril, that is the osseous, it reads like, as you join together in the left nostril, ha'osseous vav and dalad, which is the melee of the yud, shall rucha im osseous hey yud, which refers to the etzem hanekev with the same thing. In other words, that's what's coming out. Hare kan sirif hey vav. So let me just get this Yud Vav Daled. There's a Vav Daled, and then you have the first Hey Yud, I guess, is and a Yud at the end. I'm not sure exactly how that goes. Let me read it one more time. Shal Rucha Im Osius Hey Yud. To go back a little bit, Gushinistara for neck of small. What is a neck of small? Is a Hey Yud. And you add on to that Hey Yud the letter Vav Daled. The Vav Daled refers to the Rucha of the left nostril. Osius Hey Yud adds the Hey Yud and Shal Etzem a Nekev. Hare Kan Siruf. You have the Vav Daled added on to the Hey Yud. So you have, yeah, just a little bit hard for me to see it. So he said, "Uvazover chai ha'arech bezeret bekama bekomos regam la'el." So we see it also up above be'inyan siruf yud ke yud ein shom. He did mention it ein kan makom ha'arech. Okay, so that was that one. So let's see how we're doing time-wise. Okay, so time-wise, let's do one more, and we'll just do what I can on the other, on the Tev. So in the end, he said after number Kaf Vav, so look at Kaf Vav up above, Kaf Vav up above, after it, it says, V'ishtekach gam came b'tikunim b'yud gimel tikuni dikna. So when he says b'tikunim, now that gives an easy answer to what he meant by this word v'ishtekach b'tikunim. So ishtekach b'tikunim, he says, refers to the 13 tikuni dikna, the Erich Anpin. Tikuni dikna besod naros umuvos mayim moshkim min yam chochma, that come out of the yam chochma, which is mochas timor. So going down below, so we have exactly that what we saw in the previous one in number 26 was to give us an idea of actually what it looks like, the light as it comes out of the nostrils, right nostril, left nostril, could learn to take a lot more elucidation there, but it's something there. Okay, let's go to Kaf Zayin. Rebbe Bishar Begavonos, he says, B'zel Shana Bedilog. But Inyan, who the Inyan is like this, Kiyesh Kama Nimim V'Sa'arim B'Reisha the Erich Anpin. There are a lot of hairs and bundles of hairs on the top of the head of Erich Anpin. V'Kulam Moshkim B'Meibech B'Yam, and all of them flow with, you would say from or with the Yam HaChochma Ilo Mochas Dima the Reisha the Erich Anpin. So everything that comes up out of the head is coming up. Now see, the things that we've seen over there, I had the idea that what is able to get through the avira is some sort of a vapor or a scent, something very mild, but it's going upwards, out through there, and I'm assuming that it goes through the Gagolta and out through the hairs. That's what I think. So he said, Mokastima, the Reisha the Erich Anpin, Ki Elo Hasaharos Hem Kedemus Naaros, they're like rivers. Hamoshkim Mayim Chochma Mochastima, the Erich Anpin, V'zechem Masha Amar. So this is the pasuk in Telem. He says, Naso Naharos Hashem. So he lifts up the rivers, Hashem. Now, that to me is a lashon going from the Mochastima out through the hairs of the top of the head. It's going upwards. He says, V'shem Sod Hasaros Al Yonas Anikroim Mavuim. The Naharos, the Hamshech Amayim and Iskarim, which is coming from the Mochas Dimor, Kenizgar, B'tikuni Zohar, Bereish Tikun Ayin. Ki Hasaros Heim B'tzir Nimim, because the hairs are in the form of bundles, but these bundles are holulim, are hollow, Mebifnim V'tzuras Vovim, and they are in the form of Vovim. Okay, we know that. V'zel d'shano sham, but that's what we know. What it says over there. V'kol nima is name mavua the os yud the ihi yud. What is the mavua that's actually coming out of the mochas dimah? It's the letter yud. V'nima, let's say v'nima sa'aros the os vav. So maybe it means v'nema sa'aros the os vav. Not kan. A vanima, no, it's vanima. The word nima refers to the hairs which are in the form of an os vov. V'ha'aros shechel b'mochas dimah, so the lights that come out of the mochas dimah, the Erich Anpin, nimshachim besoch eloch ha'aros, that's so they flow down into the midst of these hairs. V'yotzem achar kach derech pius ha'aros v'lochutz, so they come on after that, through the openings of these hairs, and they go out from there. So we know this whole kind of thing here. So I guess that's it. That's it right there. Because Kaf Ches is going to go on the next piece, and we'll see that Mitzvah Shem the next time. We'll stop right here.